So you say your coilovers are back ordered from Factory 5? Today we're going to show you a simple, quick way to get your car on four wheels. Hey everybody, welcome back to the IE427 garage. We have been noticing a large group of the population for Factory 5 builders are missing parts. And with the current conditions, you know, it's no wonder. But some of you guys are missing some parts that are keeping you from getting your project on four wheels. Now, I'm not a big proponent on buying your tires and wheels early. If you can find a set of used wheels just to get your project mobile, I suggest you do that, because especially if your tires are going to be sitting for a year or two while you're building your car, it's not a good idea to put tires on and have them age in your shop while you're building your car. So put off buying your tires as long as you can. But if you're to that point and you feel there's no way you can move forward on your build without getting it up on four wheels, and you're missing just your coilovers, you've got your lower and your upper control arms, I'm going to show you just this for a 3-link. It'll be much the same for an IRS car, but you're going to have to make your own measurements in the back for the coilovers, because I don't have an IRS car in the shop to measure this off of today. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some temporary struts out of some scrap steel that I have here in the shop. It's not going to be the perfect size. It's going to be just enough to get you onto four wheels to get your project moved around the shop. So stay tuned for that. Okay, you guys are going to have to excuse the mess. I've got 10 different projects going on here in the shop, and it was brought to my attention that coilovers are one of the back-ordered items from Factory 5. So this is going to be down and dirty. I'm not going to clean this metal up too much. I'm just going to grind the ends so I can get a decent weld on them. But what I've got here is I've got some 3/4 inch seam welded. So you can see right here, there is a seam that welds this tubing together. So this is not DOM tubing. This is just stuff I got at the local material yard, and it was for another project. This is just some scrap I had left over. And then I have a scrap of some 1-inch square tube, and you can see this is beat up. I'm probably not going to use it for much else. One end is even full of dirt. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to make one of these, and I'll give you all the specs for a 3-link car for the length of the coilovers at ride height in the front of 4 inches and 4.5 inches for the back. And then you can make these up and get your project mobile. And then once you get your coilovers, you should be able to just slap those in, set them to ride height, and you'll be good to go. So let's get these cut to length, and then I'll show you what the pieces look like once they're cut to length, and then after that we'll weld them up. All right, already got one cut. This one I cut to 1 7/8 inches. This is going to be the top support for the front coilover. So that I cut it 1 7/8 inches. I'm going to cut one for the bottom at 1 3/8 inches, but I figured I'd let you guys see best tool ever. This is a bandsaw, and it's a miter bandsaw. So you can actually take the handle here and you can turn this thing all the way to about 50 degrees, and it makes perfect cuts. So if you're using an abrasive saw now and you got a couple $100 burning a hole in your pocket, this tool is awesome. It beats the big bandsaw that does the same thing, that takes up like a whole side of the shop, because this fits on the bench and it makes just awesome cuts. So I've already got it measured out for 1 3/8 inches. Turn it on. It squeaks a little, guys, but so boom, there we've got both our top and bottom pieces. I'm not even going to bother cleaning these up a whole lot. Because after this, these are probably just going to go back in the scrap bin. I'm going to take this square tubing and I'm going to cut it. I think my overall dimension for the top one was 13.5 inches to get a 4-inch ride height in the front. So I'm going to figure in half the distance or half the diameter of those round tubes and then cut my square tube, and then I'll bring you guys back. All right, this is the pieces cut. I've ground the ends of the square tubing. I've ground the surface of the round tubing. I'm going to get this positioned in place, and I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple tacks on here, and then I'm going to weld it so that it's solid. Using a couple of spacers underneath just to get this thing close to where I need it. Smells like burning paint. Okay, get rid of the spacers. Put those off to the side. Remember to ground your work. And we'll burn her in. Not my prettiest welds, but I wasn't going for style points here. This was just a down and dirty piece that we're going to weld together. And so that's that. Alright, here you go, guys. Not the prettiest welds, not the worst. As one of my buddies over on another YouTube page says, I'm a better grinder than I am a welder. That's not really true. I actually, I'm not a bad welder. This metal's extremely dirty, and I didn't feel like cleaning it all up because I knew I wasn't going to actually use this part, but show you guys how to make one. So by oversizing these pieces at the end, the round pieces, and you could probably use 3/4 inch square tube as well. You just need something, the 1/2 inch bolts that go through the upper and lower mount. You just need to make sure it's something that that 1/2 inch bolt will go through. And it doesn't have to be tight. All you're trying to do is hold the weight of the car until you get your coilovers. So this works out, you know, really good for something like that. You can make 4 of these. I will put the measurements for these for a standard 3-link or 4-link in the description box below, so you guys have those dimensions. If I come across a IRS car here in the near future, I will take those measurements for you and tell you exactly what they are. But I would say you could probably go with the front measurements for the, you know, the front of the car, because the rear IRS takes the same front coilovers in the rear IRS, if that makes any sense to you guys. So, all right, so there you are. As you can see, Michael's car is still behind me. We're still working on that. We are waiting on a weld-in bung for the radiator right now, and I'm hoping, I ordered another one, so it's a race to see which one gets here first. We finally got tracking updated today on the original one, which says it's still at USPS in downtown LA. So, I mean, that could be another 3 days out. The one that we ordered from Summit Racing, I think it's going to be here tomorrow. So, we'll see. And then once we get that going, then we'll start putting some of the engine together, because I believe all the powder-coated parts are back. So, we'll see if I can get those picked up tomorrow. So, I appreciate you guys all for watching. I was spurred on to do this because I was going back and forth with a subscriber who mentioned something about not having coilovers. And I thought, well, hell, we could probably get this poor guy set up with something so he can at least get his project up on 4 wheels. So I hope that helps somebody, and maybe down the line, if there's a coilover shortage in the future, you know, you'll be able to do the same modification for this later. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys later. Have a great day.